Rain lashed against the cafe windows. Isabella huddled deeper into her chair, the scent of coffee a weak comfort. A melancholic song played softly, each note a painful echo of her own heart. She glanced at the door every time it opened, a flicker of hope battling with a familiar ache. Across the cafe, a man sat alone, his face hidden behind a newspaper. Lucas. His presence was a storm in her carefully constructed calm. Years had passed, but the memory of his touch still sent shivers down her spine.
Thinking, can I really face him after all these years?
She remembered their laughter, their dreams, all shattered by a betrayal so deep it had nearly destroyed her. Isabella closed her eyes, pushing the memories away. She had built walls around her heart, brick by painful brick. Could she dare to even consider lowering them, even for a moment? It felt dangerous, reckless, yet she couldn't deny the pull she felt, a magnetic force that defied logic and reason. 5 years earlier, Isabella had been deeply in love with James. They had met at a friend's wedding, his eyes locking onto hers from across the crowded room. Their love story had unfolded like a dream. Stolen kisses, whispered promises, a love that felt destined.
Laughing. You always know how to make me smile.
James was everything she had ever wanted, charming, successful, and utterly devoted to her, or so she believed. One evening, James had taken her to their favorite restaurant, a cozy Italian bistro nestled on a quiet street. As he held her hand across the table, his eyes shimmering with a love that made her heart soar, he had whispered the words she had longed to hear.
Marry me, Isabella.
Yes, oh yes.
Tears of joy had streamed down her face as she whispered back a resounding yes. The weeks that followed were a blur of wedding preparations. Isabella had thrown herself into planning their future, her heart overflowing with love, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. One afternoon, while searching for her misplaced phone, Isabella stumbled upon a series of messages that made her blood run cold.
Gasping, no, this can't be real.
The messages were from a number saved under Emily, and they painted a picture of a passionate affair, a betrayal that cut Isabella to her core. The world she had so carefully constructed crumbled around her. The weight of James's betrayal was crushing. Isabella confronted him, her voice trembling with a mixture of rage and heartbreak.
How could you do this to us?
James had tried to explain, to apologize, but his words seemed hollow, meaningless in the face of such deceit. The man she loved, the man who had promised her forever, had shattered her heart into a million pieces. In the aftermath of the discovery, Isabella withdrew from everything and everyone. The pain was too raw, too deep to share.
I can't face anyone right now.
She couldn't bear to see the pity in her friend's eyes, couldn't stand the well-meaning but empty platitudes. She felt lost, adrift in a sea of pain, clinging desperately to the wreckage of her dreams. Time, they said, healed all wounds. But for Isabella, time seemed to stand still. The pain of James's betrayal was a constant companion, a shadow that followed her everywhere she went.
I won't let anyone hurt me like that again. Never.
She had built a wall around her heart, determined to never let anyone hurt her like that again. She threw herself into her work, finding solace in the predictability of numbers, the logic of spreadsheets, anything to avoid the gaping hole in her heart. Back in the cafe, Lucas lowered his newspaper, his gaze drawn to Isabella. Their eyes met across the room. Isabella's breath caught in her throat. Lucas, James. The years melted away, and she saw him again as he had been, the man she had loved with all her heart, the man who had broken it so completely.
Softly, Isabella.
He stood up, his eyes pleading for forgiveness. Isabella felt a surge of anger, of resentment, but beneath it all a flicker of something else. Hope? Could she forgive him? Could she risk her heart again?
Thinking, can I really do this?
He walked towards her, each step filled with a silent apology. He stopped in front of her, his hand outstretched.
Isabella, I know I hurt you. I can't take it back, but I can spend the rest of my life trying to make it up to you. If you'll let me.
Isabella looked into his eyes, saw the remorse, the love that still flickered there. Maybe, just maybe, love could bloom again, stronger, more resilient, from the ashes of their shattered past. Maybe this wasn't the end of their story, but rather the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter filled with hope, forgiveness, and the enduring power of second chances.